Hi all, good evening. Thank you for joining today's meeting. I hope you can hear well. So what we'll do today is I'll take around 15-20 minutes and brief you about what are the expectations for your final CIE as well as final exam. So let me share my screen. Okay, so one thing you note that at the end of the thesis, so you can write down points as well as to tell your teammates who couldn't join today. So all your COs which you have, that is 12 COs, which is there for your project work. This is for your reference. I have, it's available in the college website, syllabus book also you can check. But what is that I want you to address is the program outcomes, which is we have 12 program outcomes and 3 program specific outcomes, which you have to say. So at the end of the thesis, before your reference, probably after your reference, you say, this particular PO was addressed in my project this way. So you should make a table which says PO1, what is it, and how it is addressed in your project. So make sure that you include that in your thesis. This is one thing which is not there in the guidelines. So I thought I'll inform you first. And second thing is you have on the 25th, that is next Saturday, you should be presenting few things. That's what I sent you on the email, right? If you see the email, so a video with a video with audio for 3 to 5 minutes has to be done. How you can do this is you can do either by doing it like a doodle or something like that you can do, or you can do by having your PPT play and then behind that you'll be doing, or use some Zoom to record or Google Meet and so on and so forth. So here you should be covering all the aspects with 3 to 5 minutes. Be judicious in your timings and see what best you can convey. So main thing is it should tell that how you got into the problem and what methodology used and how you solved and what is the impact on it. So this thing, use animations, use nice PPTs and so on and so forth. Or you can use like Canvas slides or Doodle and so on and so forth, so that it will be effective. So what we'll do with this video on the day of the presentation of 25th, we'll be seeing your video, which already has the audio. We'll be playing it during the evaluation and see that we'll evaluate it according to some marks. And we'll also have PPT, which starts from start to end of your project. What you can do is have all the slides as if you're doing for your SEs. Remember, your semester and exam will be in terms of slides. So that has to be covered in 10 to 20 minutes and all the things have to be covered. And ensure that all your, especially in semester and exam, all of you talk. If you're 4 in a team, 3 in a team, all 3 of you talk, and split it in such a way that first few minutes, you will have first person, next few minutes second person, third person will conclude. Don't do like first person comes and second person comes, then third and again first, again third, or something like that. Just split into 3 halves for 10 to 15 minutes and plan that way, so that you cover all projects during your final SE. And coming back to your 25th, so PPT should cover everything start to end. You already have till your first progress, have that in your second progress and conclude the project on 25th. Why you should conclude, why not on 30th, is because after 25th, you have your third test, you may be busy with that, and 30th is your final presentation. You don't have much time in between to do any changes. So have the final, your slides. And for your C, there may be minor tweaks which can be done. And please show it your guide, internal guide as well as external guide if you have, or coordinate with your internal guide, get the approval, and then submit in the page. Next thing is you should submit one page. So recently when the committee came, they were checking about how we actually do the unmet need analysis. You already know in MDD. So you do that unmet need, write one page about what is your project about and how you derive that project. So if you're working on, say, hallucinogens, then you can say that there is this much percentage of people are having hallucinogens. When we spoke to our external guide, who is also something related, working, who is a researcher or is a doctor, and that doctor said that this is one of the thing. And if we can come up with a solution of doing analysis of their brain, that can be something which you can put up. And all of you should sign, all team members, and get your internal guide signature. If possible, external guide. If not, that's okay. Internal guide signature of the procedure. Don't make it to multiple pages, just one page. Hard copy you should print and submit it, as well as post it in the folder which I've given. And for the 30th one, this is about 25th. So if you have any questions, please write it down. We'll discuss at the end. And PPT, we'll be seeing it in case we have doubts. If not, you upload it and we'll have some marks to see. We'll just scroll through. You need not explain on 25th. Whereas 13th of June, we are making one flyer where we want to invite all your undergrad students, your juniors, super juniors and all, and then your PG students, your first year, second year PG students to come and visit the department on 30th. Similarly, postgraduate students are also doing an open day where they'll come and they'll show the demo, they'll do posters. So that is what we are planning on the 30th. So entire department will be, it's more like a fest for us of technical projects which will be displayed throughout the course, throughout the day. This is very important for you to participate. This will be evaluated. What we'll be evaluating is the following. First is poster. So A1 size is the poster, preferably have a portrait, not landscape. Portrait is A1 size, which comes top is higher and smaller, and the length is smaller, whereas breadth which goes longer. So A1 size is what you have to make, and again get it approved from your guide of the content. So what should be the content of the poster? It's very simple. You should have your title of your project, put department, your college logo, and maybe if you're doing somewhere external, with their permission, include the logo of the external guide affiliation, like BMS and Ohio State, or BMS and then another industry where you're doing, or some hospital. On the first left and right extreme, in between you can put BMS, I mean your project title and your affiliation, saying 1, 2, 3, your student, your name, your USN, and then your guide's name, internal guide, external guide name, and then divide into 2 columns. First column, you will say that introduction, some 2-3 points about introduction, your unmet need. Then you'll put methodology, preferably in terms of block diagram or flow chart. And then after that, you will show some implementation, some pictures of your hardware, or some pictures of your steps. And then you will put results. What is the results you have got? You'll write a little bit about it, put the some images of your results, and then find conclusion or the impact what you are able to do. So that's what you should be putting in your posters, and include not all reference. Maybe in your thesis, you will have 30-40 references, but you put 5-6 major references in that, and which are the POs addressed. Okay. So what all things you will do in your, where is my whiteboard? So what all things you will include in your poster is logos of your BMSC and external affiliation, or your external guide with permission. And then you put your title of project and names of all students, guides, with USN of guides, both internal and external, affiliations, like how you write for your paper, right? Similar way. Next is you will have the other 3 things, which is on the left side you can put, so it should be 2 columns, have introduction and methodology, flow chart or block diagram, etc. And then have figures depicting the method, and then little bit write up also you can put. And then you will put is after figures which will depict the methods, you can put results and its table or figures with appropriate figures, and then references, few important, and then finally you will put is your POs and PSOs addressed. Okay. Who is that? Any questions till now? Okay, this is what you should be writing. Okay, someone has unmuted unknowingly. Okay, so this is what you should be writing in your poster. Okay, this is what, just note down this. And next thing is, once you are done with the poster, which will cover the entire project, have demo of the project ready. If it is software, have a demo. If it's hardware, have a demo. We will also see demo, the final demo. And then your project report, we'll discuss in detail how you do your project report, and then your paper in IEEE format. So discuss with your guide whether you are going to publish in a conference or you're going to publish in a journal. If so, which journal, which conference. If already, usually we publish in IEEE or something. So IEEE format, if you go here, you click this, you'll be able to download the template for conference. If it is some journal also, you go to the other link. Here you will be able to see what kind of journal. It's very nice to, you need not sign in, I guess. Okay, there is some problem, but you can just Google this template selector.IEEE.org, you'll get that. So there you can select which journal or which kind of journal and that format, but either conference or journal, which is IEEE. Don't go for others, but later you can convert very easily. I'll show you that. And please note that all posters, PPT, papers, video, soft copy of the report, etc., should be approved by your respective guide. When will you submit your project report? Soft copy is on 30th to your guides, and they will evaluate and put marks. Other faculties may not be seeing your project report. And when you should have, along with your project report of soft copy, have certificate from your internal guide, certificate from external guide also should be attached. And end of the semester, once you are done with your exams, maybe if you are having a 4th or 5th or anywhere after your theory exam, this presentation, at that time you should have hard copy. And what color you should check, all those things we'll discuss now. So this is all the links where you have to do, and this paper you need not upload anywhere, that you submit your guide and your guide will give marks for that. You need not upload it anywhere in the Google Drive. Okay. Next is, you should have this project evaluation. There is some rules which is internally done by the college. This is from the rules and regulations of the college. Very important thing, plagiarism for your project report. So we have access to something known as Turnitin. As soon as I put your plagiarism, your thesis in the Turnitin software, it will tell how much plagiarism you have done. If you have done 20%, what is plagiarism? You copy pasted somewhere without acknowledging properly. You are just copy pasting it. Even if you are if you are seeing some paper X, you should write in your own words of what you are understanding from that paper. Or methodology, you should write on your own. If you have copy pasted somewhere, and if it is, it should be less than, say, 20%. In case it is more than 20%, there will be reduction of marks proportionately. And if it is more than 60%, they'll reject it. If it is less than 60%, you will be asked to resubmit in a period of 6 months. So while you submit it on 30th, ensure that you don't have plagiarism. We will put all your reports there and we'll download. We will get to know where you have stolen each word or each sentence. We'll get to know that from which internet and everywhere. And I also have additional authenticate, which is even more powerful. And if we'll do that, if Turnitin is showing 20%, authenticate will show 30%. We will dig out even more deeper before giving the result. So be sure that you don't do any plagiarism, which is very bad practice. Unfortunately, from it is practiced in India, but we have to stop that. And we have very stringent rule. This time, Dean has also told that. Dean Academics, very importantly, you should be taking care of that. And here in this BMSC rules and regulations of examination, if you see here, there are some very important rules which you should be familiar with. If you go to one particular page, let it download. you will have some format of your thesis. I've also mentioned what page 42 is this. Okay, so I guess you can see this. Let me, yeah, this is a guidelines for preparing your BE, BR project reports. This is a format. The order should be outer cover page of the title page, inner cover, bona fide certificate from individual students, bona fide certificate from batch students, supervisor approval certificates incorporating all corrections, certificate from industry or your hospital or your external guide. In case there is a sponsorship approval, if you've got some, like for example, Pranav batch, Pranav and Samhita, they have got funding from BTU, right? That also you have to put the approval letter, Dr. M.S. Suma has got, so that if you can put acknowledgements, abstracts, synopsis, summary, name it as abstract instead of synopsis or summary. It's just 300 words. Within 300 words, write in terms of aim of your project, and then what is the method you have used in 3-4 lines, what is the results you have got, and what is the conclusion you will draw. That it should be in 300 words, one continuous para. Then table of content, you can see list of tables, list of figures, list of symbols or abbreviations, only if necessary. In biomedical, we don't use so much abbreviations and all, but in case you, in your project, if there are a lot of abbreviations, symbols, nomenclatures, then you can use. After that, you'll have chapter 1 introduction, chapter 2 literature survey. Literature survey should be detailed, like you have put in tables, right, for your first presentation, but here we want in running a line. Okay, it shouldn't be in table. Chapter 3 is aim or scope. This will be 1 or 2 pages. Chapter 4 is methodology or procedure or experimental procedure. This should be in methodology. In our medical electronics, we usually use methodology. And you should write what materials, like if you have used MATLAB, Python, or SPM, or any such tools, little bit about tool followed by what step after what step. Then you'll write results and discussions. What is results? Results is nothing but what results, what is the fact value you're getting. Like you did statistical analysis, you got p-value less than 0.05. That is what you'll put in results, plain facts. Discussion, you'll write why that result is less than 0.05, what may be the possibility. Or if you are working in hardware, you will write, this is how it is, this is what you have got hardware running. And in discussion, you'll write more detailed discussion about why the result or why the hardware is working that way, why you did this, what are the things you can do, and so on and so forth. Next is you'll write chapter 6, which is conclusion, and then followed by scope of future work. It is not optional. You write compulsorily scope for future work. In scope for future work, you will write in detail about what is the limitations of your project. Like if your juniors take your project forward, you should tell that this is what it is, your reference, I mean your future work, you can do this, and this is what we couldn't do, but you can do this, that is your future work. Okay. And then references, you'll put references again in IEEE format. I'll tell you very easier way how you can put references. There are multiple tools which is known as Mendeley, Zotero, and EndNote, and so on. Mendeley is super easy, Zotero is super easy. Paperpile is another one. I'll show you one because most of us, I'm sure, will use Google Sheet. I'll show you one of them, how you can use Paperpile, which is very easy. And then you'll put appendices. So what is appendices is it's used, you can write appendices. When you write is you use very unique IC, which is not very commonly used. At that time, you'll put in appendix one important points about it. Some derivations you did for your project, some calculations, which is not required in your thesis. If you feel, you can put that in appendices. Like your other things, something very important for project, only when we see is appendices, whenever we are super interested in your thesis, at that time I'll see your appendices. It's not necessary, but if you have something which you think it's not required in your thesis, but it is required in your appendices, like I'm very excited over your project, then only I'll see. If not, I'm a normal guy, I just want to see what you have done, I'll just read your thesis. If I'm very excited, very interested, super interested, then I'll see your appendices. Okay. And page numbering, you should follow this way. 1 and 2 section, no page number. That is these things. 1 and 2 is here, right? Above. Like inner cover, outer cover, there is no pages. Starting from other places, small Roman 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and other things, it is Arabic numerals, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And please have here, they don't mention anything about header and footer. Header is your title of your project, whereas footer is your Department of Medical Electronics. Okay, header is your title of your project, whereas footer is Department of Medical Electronics and your page number. That's what will come in footer. Okay, like for this example, this will be your Department of Medical Electronics and footer with the page numbers. On the header, you will write your complete title of your project, and table and figure should be appropriately introduced in appropriate places, and it has to be first referred and never place duplicate figure or table in the report. Number them chapter wise. You should number, like if you're using in your first chapter, first figure, call it as 1.1, figure 1.1, and mention that in running test. When you're explaining the figure, you should mention that. All inner pages of the report should be A4 bond sheet. Use bond sheet of 70 to 85 GSM. All the photocopy shop around the college know this. You can go and tell the sir bond sheet will print ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡಿ and get it hard binded. You have to get it hard binded for your SCE. For CIE, ask your guide if they're comfortable with soft copy for corrections, or ask your guide if they want hard copy. You can spiral bind and give them. Not necessary that you should give hard copy, the draft copy. If you ask me if I'm guide, I'll say don't want hard copy, you send me a soft copy. Sit with me for half an hour, I'll tell you the corrections, you can do it. Hard bind of the project you should do for your 30th. How you should do hard bind? Just go to Xerox shop, he will tell you how to do. Adopt the color scheme of the report, section 5, which we have told. So for medical electronics, for electrical cluster, we use purple color. Okay. For mechanical, it's gray, and for others, civil, it is different. So each department has different color, and you should cover all the print letters shall be of black color, cover and all print letters. Provide for the outer cover a separately fully transparent plastic cover as a jacket. You see some of the thesis which is there in the department. Ask Anand Tirtha or Guneshwar, they'll give you that, and you can see how it is wrapped. Or ask your guides, they'll have some old report and they can show you. And all your adhere to the following: left, right, top, bottom. What is the format? 31 mm, which is 1.25. Usually we do in inches, 1.25 on the left, because binding will come right on the left, so it is higher. On the right, 1 is enough. Top and bottom 0.75, which will have your header and footer. Please note here, there is no header footer in the regulations, but in our department, we do put header and footer. Outer cover, what should you put? There is something in Appendix 1, I'll show you down, that you have to put. Bona fide certificate, there is a format, and we call it as supervisor, not guide. Okay, everywhere it should be supervisor, supervisor. You should have certificate from supervisor, from your internal supervisor, external supervisor. Abstract should be Times New Roman and 12 sizes. Table of content should be there. Example is given: list of table, list of ribbons, list of symbols. Chapters, each chapter should have given an appropriate title, which is already given for you in the reference. If you want to change a little bit, check with your guide. Table and figures in the chapter. Footnotes should be used sparingly. Don't use footnotes at all, if you ask me. And don't use appendices also. If you want, you can use, but there are few things, like if you have done analysis for 1,000 images or 500 images, 300 images, like Swarna's group, they're doing for 300 images. Those image, not all the results should be there in your actual thesis. Only summary should be there. Individual results, if you want, it can go around 5-10 pages as separate appendices, and you have to tell what it is. Okay. And list of references, I'll tell you, it should be typed 4 spaces below the heading references in the alphabetical order. Don't use alphabetical order. We'll use the way how we have cited. I'll tell you the example. In department, we use IEEE standard. Even here also, it's telling IEEE standard. What is IEEE standard? I'll tell you. Table and figures. Typing instruction, it is given Times New Roman. Font size, keep it 12. So what in our department we do is, this one will be 14 heading, and inside it will be 12 Times New Roman. Okay. Heading should be bold, don't, and it should be numbered like 26.3, right? Here 26.4, 26.5. Similarly, for your first chapter, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Main heading is 1, chapter 1. Under that, you'll have 1.1, which is like introduction to something, 1.2, 1.3. If you have subheading, You can go up to 1.1.1. Only 3 subheadings. Don't go 1.1.1.2 or something like that 4 times. 4 is allowed, but I prefer only maximum 3 in case you require. And as I told, you are because you are in medical electronics, you should do purple. If you are in computer science, cream, sky blue, gray, and brown. But we are in medical electronics cluster, we follow purple color for the cover of outer page. Okay. This is your first page, how you should have on your cover page, and your first page should be this one. And month and year you are submitting in July 2022. So write July 2022. Don't write and, it's just July 2022. And see the font size, see the spacing. And everywhere, if you're using BMS, use the new convention is B.M.S. College of Engineering. After .S, there is a space. So B.M.S. College of Engineering is what you should use, not directly BMS College of Engineering. This is bona fide certificate, which we give from the department. So head of the department will sign, guide will sign, and this internal examiner, external examiner, you leave blank. Whenever you have exam, you will fill this. Your respective guides and your examiner will fill, whoever comes on that day. And this is for your certificate from guide, where we write. This is certificate from supervisor. And one of them, we usually emit it. We just have this certificate from the supervisor is what we will do. We don't print this in the department. Okay, certificate from guide, we don't print this. Please note, we don't print this. We just directly print this specimen. And the table of contents, already it is there. We have already told you about it. This is evaluation and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is what it is. So let me go around and show you one of the sample of any paper. So as we were discussing about a few things in the chapter, I told you I'll tell you later, right? So those things we'll discuss for another 5 minutes, and then we are good for question answer session. It's raining heavily. In case power cuts off, please stay back. I'll log in from my laptop and then join. Okay. So here all these things is clear. And as I told, get certificate from your external guide till 30th of June, because that's just understand. In case they give 1 week here and there, nobody cares, so that's okay. And if you have some funding, write that. And here abstract, I've told you, table of contents. Now let's come to these chapters. How will you write? I'll show you one sample paper. Let me go to scholar.google.com, and then I will show you one sample paper. Maybe HCP drugs using illicit domain. So one of the batch is working on this, right? So what is that? There is one paper here. I'll just use some random paper for you. And this is how it is. Okay, this is the paper, right? So if you see here, abstract is in the form of aim or background, method, results, and discussion. You write as a continuous paragraph. Don't give headings like this. In thesis, we usually don't give such headings. Okay. And introduction, when you write here, if you see, okay. Yeah. So introduction, when you write, you will write something, what's your motivation, all those things. And then you will write the name of the paper. Here they've used something known as APA format. This may be APA format, but we'll use 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of Kramer, you will get in square brackets, you will write 1. And this will be in square brackets 2. This will be in square brackets 3. This is square bracket 4, like that. In case you have 2 of them, for example, here you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, right? So in square brackets, you will write 6 to 8, like if, or 6 to 10, if you have 4 of them. 6 in square brackets, 6-10 and whole, close the brackets. That's how you'll write. And if you click this, it will go there. That's how these people, they do editing. But if you want, you can do that. There is tools in Microsoft Word which can help you to do that. And remember, for table, always you should put the table number. So if your table in chapter 2, if it is first table 2.1, and give colon and then write this heading for the table. I have seen thesis where they don't write anything. They just write table 2, 2.1 and don't give anything, any heading for that. It will be like orphan sitting somewhere in your thesis. And put the table nicely, put rows and columns highlighted. And in case you have some smaller abbreviations, like here they have used SD. SD means standard deviation. They've used DF. DF is degree of freedom. That has to be expanded at the bottom of the table. Then another thing you should do is figures. You should always name the figure here at the bottom. If the figure is in the second chapter, first figure, write FIG.2.1 or figure FIGURE 2.1 dot, something like that. And write what is the figure about, a small description about, and paste your figure. Please paste high resolution figure. Don't put blur image. It will not come in printing. And while you go for printing in your Xerox shop or wherever in the bond sheet, please ensure that you take PDF and go, because you will be having one version of Word, they'll be having one, and your page numbers get misaligned. You will get printed, get it bounded, get it for your exam. At the exam, your guide or your external guide will scold saying, this is how your external examiner, this is how you make this, it is not aligned properly and all. So take PDF and go, so that it's easier for you to print. And this is one. And one more thing, right? For table, you'll write header table 2.1 and description of the table, and at the bottom you'll write abbreviation. For figure, you'll put the figure at the bottom, you'll write the description of the figure. Whereas for table it's top, for figure it is down. And all these figures, they shouldn't stand alone. Have you read any book which doesn't refer that figure or table? Like here, figure 1 is there. Somewhere in the running text, they would have mentioned figure 1. I'll show you. FIG. See here, they have in the running text, they have mentioned figure 1. In the running text, they have mentioned table 1. As soon as you click, it will go. That you need not enable, but see table 1, see supplementary table 2, see table 1. Like that, you should mention table 1 there in your running text. Many a times what students do, they just put table and they don't refer, they'll leave it as orphan, and whenever you're reading this description, you would have mentioned about it, but you wouldn't have said refer table 1 or see table 1 as per figure 1, as shown in figure 1, as shown in table 1. That you should write. Okay. And all your references 1, 2, 3, 4, it should be there. Let me take one IEEE paper. Or let's go to IEEE Explore. IEEE Access is an open access journal, very expensive to publish, but all the papers are free to download. Okay, let's take Popular or something. This all are examples, but make sure you spend quality time with your guide. I've seen many guides complaining, including me, saying the students don't come and meet and they expect guides to be free all the time. Please don't expect, because everybody is busy with accreditation or some or the other, or they're wearing multiple hats. So you should also understand, we know you are also doing multiple activities. I was also a student like you who was doing internship, project, one more project and all. But please respect the time of your guide, and you also spend some time with your guide, or arrange for Google Meet, Zoom call and things like that. Okay. So this is one of the paper you see of IEEE. Like for poster, I was telling, right, you should put this. And see here, I told you 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is how you put. Inside your running text, 1 to 4 will be there, 5 to 7, which means that this one is nothing but the last reference which is put, that is 1. Sorry. Yeah. So this, the one which you see at the bottom is nothing but the one which is in the, this one is 1. This is 2, all those things. You can use you guys long back when you were kids last time, but I'll show you one more time so that you can recollect it very easily as early as possible. So you go to add-ons and then get add-ons in Google Sheet and then write paper pile. I've already installed it, so I'll just go, I'll say paper pile and manage citations. In this, I want to refer my own paper at some point here. Okay, at this point, if I want to insert that, so it's coming, let it come. Yeah. So here, either you can give DOI. If you go to any paper which is in good journal, you'll get something known as DOI, Digital Object Identifier. So here also, if I go to this paper, I'll go to this paper first and find what is DOI for this. How do I find? Somewhere here it will be there. See here, this is DOI. If I want to refer this paper, I'll copy this and paste the DOI. But I'm too lazy to do that. What I'll do is, who will find DOI? I'll just go copy the paper and then I'll paste it here, the title of the paper, or do it. Or I'll paste my name, Abhishek Appaji, and then I'll search my papers related to retina. So here I'll go and I'll search, I'll get some papers which is already done. This is the recent one, deep learning paper, which is published. So I want to put it here, keep your cursor here, and then click on here, cite. It will go and cite here. See, it came. Next one, I want to write somewhere here about plagiarism, right? I'll just search relevant paper for this. You are not just searching and putting, you would have read those papers, that's why you're putting it here. It's not blindly you're putting it. Okay, I got a paper here of 2022. I'll just click here, it will cite here. Okay, and I want to put one more paper, I'll just put and cite here. I want to put one more paper, I'll just cite here. It will automatically put the comma, semicolon and do it. Oh, but I had told about IEEE format, right? So just go here and say more styles. In that you select IEEE. Okay, IEEE, and then say first one you'll get IEEE, and then say save, and then say update citation and bibliography. You see the magic which will happen. All these things will change to square brackets, which I was mentioning. See here, it got changed automatically. 1 and this became 2 to 4. I was telling about this, right? This is what you will be doing. If you want to change it back to any other style, you can just do this. And one more important thing is, I'll do all these things and you will take to your guide. Your guide will say, no, this reference you have put wrong. You put it on the top and this you will change. At that time, it's very easy. Put it here, go here, edit your citations here. It will automatically change. You can go and delete these citations here and it will automatically change everything. You say update citation and bibliography. It's super easy. Now these papers I have to write, if you remember that which I told, references, and you should give 4 spacing below this and then say update citation and bibliography. It would come and paste at the end of your thesis actually. See here, it's already come. End of your document, it will come. Which style it is? It is IEEE style. You need not scratch your head saying authors and last author before that and should be there. This could be in italics. This should be in this name of the journal in short form, paper number, June 2022, all those things. And this is usually in 12 format, right? So you can just say this is 12 and remove the bold. This becomes, your references are ready. You need not scratch your head more. Okay. So this is a document which people are referring. I'll delete all these things. And one more common mistake which I find students doing is they don't justify it. Whenever you're writing, have a spacing of 1.5. So how much is the spacing here? You just go here, even in your Word document, you just select and spacing, you say single. Instead of that, I'll make 1.5. This is a decent spacing. This is 12, make it Times New Roman, and this one should be 14 Times New Roman. And one more thing is, when people usually they'll come up with random styling. One is they'll do left align. You see at the top, you can see this, right? this is left align, or they'll do center, they'll do right, they'll do random things, but you have to justify. Justify is it aligns towards left and right, and it comes, you can see this is so neat. Versus if I do this, you check these two things, this is so ugly looking, this is so neatly it is written, right? So this is what you should present your thesis as properly as possible. Okay, so this also will make it neat by making it 1.5. See, this also became neat and elegant way of looking. So this is one of the common mistake we do. So as I told, what are the common mistake? Table figures, naming they'll not define in the running text. Second thing is they don't label tables properly. Table should be on top, labeling, whereas description of the figure should be at the bottom. You should describe within the thesis also in running text. Justification they don't do, references they put in random style. These are very common mistakes which we see in the department when we see thesis. One more thing is, you might have referred some thesis by overlook of the guide, they would have done mistake and finally it was approved and they've graduated. So don't refer the previous thesis, but the guidelines you should follow what I told today. In case you're diverting from guidelines, you'll lose the marks. Please ensure, if you still have questions, you can ask me after this meeting also. Don't worry if you have some doubts, and I may take time to reply if I'm busy, but I'll reply, put it in the class group so that it's easier, so that all of them will know. And if not, come find me wherever I am in the college. Either I'll be in ICRD R&D office or in the department, or I'll be in some meeting, but just check with my assistant. She'll tell you where I am, and you can just come and meet me, and you can discuss. First point of contact is your guide. In case your guide is busy, and if your guide is telling me to meet, or you can also see that if there are some more questions which you think I can answer, please come and you can meet me. I'll be happy to answer them. Okay. With this, I would like to stop. This was the guidelines. Please follow the deadlines, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have. If not, we are good to say bye.
Sir, I actually have it.
Another thing I want you guys to let you know is before writing a paper, you have to just write it. You can publish it, but please take consent of all your guides, internal, external guide, where you have to submit. They'll have better knowledge than all of us, because they are expert in their field or they have published many journals. So having said that, we are not telling you mandatorily publish it as of now, but we want publications out of your wonderful work which each batch is doing. But before publishing, check if there is a possibility of patenting, like as Rishika's project can be patented, Ritik, Nikita, Madhuri's project can be patented. So first is explore the possibility of patenting, and then but having paper just written, that's why I'm telling, don't share the paper with me or upload in the public cloud, because once you upload anywhere, there'll be possibility that you will somebody will use it and do it. So that's why I'm not asking paper. If you see specifically in the email, I'm not asked paper. You check with your guide where you will go ahead and submit it, whether you want to patent it. If you want to patent, go ahead and patent it. Check with your guide, internal guide. And in BMSC, in my office, R&D office, we patent. We have filed around 60, 65 plus patent, 10 plus granted already. And we are going in expedited mode, which means that usually it takes around 6 to 7 years. But recently we have started with expedited mode. You file today patent, and your results will be out, either accept or reject within 6 months. And we fund everything, your entire cost, because each patent will cost around 6 to 7 lakhs, including maintenance, everything. Entire thing is funded by BMS College of Engineering. Again, I want to tell, if you have any questions, please go back to your guides. They'll be the best people to answer. Or you can get back to me also if you have any additional administration questions or related to your thesis, some specific questions, you can please reach out to me. With this, thanks a lot for your time, and we will say bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.